Your rosy cheeks makes one at ease. When you smile, in my heart I feel.
First of all, you need to understand that Malathi is a seasoned writer, though she may have not been in public's eye through books published all over Sri Lanka. She is a very seasoned writer whom the literati have not noticed yet. So, with her new book, she has actually created a sort of a very powerful impression on Sri Lanka's English literature. Let me tell you in what is called point form what the impact she has made, this novel made, and why I think that it is an impact. Okay, number one, Malathi's novel, it's a beautiful mix of fact and fiction. It's a personal memoir as well as a fictitious narrative that I find very interesting and very impactful, in the sense that you do not know where fact is and where fiction is. Of course, it does take some time for you to know, but still, don't be too sure, right? She is blurring the boundaries between imaginative narrative and what is called factual life. So they both cross and blend into each other and creates a very powerful literary narrative where not only complexity and the confusion, but the whole notion of this daring textual initiative strikes you, right? That is first thing about Malathi's book, that is fact and fiction, they blur and they cross boundaries. Okay, there are novelists who have done that, but I think in Sri Lanka it's quite rare. So congratulations, Malathi, for achieving that. Okay, number two, this novel is written from a female's point of view. We rarely meet a very powerful female point of view regarding her life, right? So whether it is her identity, whether it's her gender or sexuality, her engagement with the male community, her husband, father, parents, everything is narrated with no holds barred. She is very honest and she lets it out. So in that sense, Malathi's novel is a very powerful textual enterprise that takes you into the heart of a female's heart and a female's mind, right? And particularly the much avoided issue of female sexuality. Malathi is very bold enough to talk about it very openly, very honestly, and sometimes very starkly, sometimes very dramatically. She opens up a whole hitherto unexplored ideas of feminine sexuality. That is number one. Number two. So when you read the book, you will understand the feelings, the ideas, the thoughts, the perceptions of a female growing up in a large family and her challenges, whether it's from her home, neighbors, or the village, or the town, or the nation, right? So that is the second aspect of Malathi's novel. Third aspect is the whole idea of storytelling. This novel moves back and forth in time. So you start from the past, crosses to the present, past, present. Once again, like a galaxy in the universe, time is taken out, and then you are told the causal effect of the events in your life, how something that happened in the past could come out in the present, and how something that happens in the present could be linked to the past. That's something that she achieves beautifully in the novel through her what is called structure. The structural narrative is that, time is made flexible rather than fixed. Time is flexible. It keeps moving from one end to the other, right? Blurring time sometimes, but it's very beautiful because the whole notion of the narrative in time space is held by causality, how action and reaction, or in simple word, action and reaction, or cause and effect, right? That's the third aspect of the novel, that is her structural consistency. The fourth aspect of the novel is the simplicity. Malathi does not resort to heavy languid prose to tell her story. She resorts to very simple, accessible, and of course beautiful language to narrate the story. There are no complications, no longer sentences. What she has to say, she says in the simplest terms possible. So that simplicity, of course, adds to the themes of the novel, which is my next topic. The simplicity of her narrative adds to the main thematic core of the novel, increasing the intensity of the reader and the text, right? So that is the fourth aspect. The fifth aspect and the long aspect I wish to talk about is the thematic content of the novel. This novel is about a female. It's a feminine novel, basically. Feminine novel, female telling her story, right? So thematically, it's about females, what it means to be a female, how should somebody be a female, what are the fault lines, what are the celebrations, what does it mean to be a female. So Malathi, by taking the reader into different aspects of a female's life, right? Puberty, marriage, relationship with parents, relationship with partners, she tells us what it means to be a female in a very difficult and a very complex world. That's number one. Second theme that comes out is the whole notion of suffering. Malathi's characters are people who have absorbed a lot of suffering through their contact with the world, right? I assume that none of us could say that, we also engage the world with suffering, but here the difference is that the character sufferings are captured and articulated for us to see. So that is one second thematic content of her novel, the whole notion of life and suffering. Of course, suffering is not the only aspect of the novel. There are celebrations also. There are very kind, compassionate people, both females and males, who also give hope to the characters, give hope to humanity, right? So those characters, they come and tell us that, life is not about suffering, it's also about celebration, that amidst this cauldron of misunderstanding, suffering, illness, death, there is also hope. There are also beautiful human beings who had hope to this, who bring hope to this cauldron. Finally, Malathi's novel is about how life cannot be identified as one single unit. Life, according to Malathi's novel, is a complex equation. It's not one. It's neither happy nor sad. It's neither both. It's a complexity. It's a complexity of people getting involved with each other, and in that engagement, discovering life, right? And they discover life in different ways. So that is the other most important thematic of her novel, the notion of life not being one single, comprehensible, capturable unit, right? So that is the way I look at this novel. It's a very compact, very readable, accessible novel that takes you into the heart of a female, and also that loses upon some very aspects which are dear to us, and aspects which provide wisdom into life. Okay, right, thank you.
I was so pleased when Malathi wanted me to tell a few words about her, and I met Malathi through the YWCA of Sri Lanka at the local YWCA where she was a member. She came to the YWCA with her mother and aunt, who were devoted YWCA members. She followed their footsteps and is now a devoted YWCA member herself. Malathi is very active and is very interested in whatever she is entrusted to do. Malathi liked most and likes most to be the secretary of the board, where she is able to take down minutes, take down photographs, and do the work that she is most interested in, which is her vocation, writing. Malathi represented the local YWCA at national level for conferences and seminars. she participated actively, asked questions, and was very much interested in whatever she was entrusted to do. I wish Malathi all the best in the future.
It is a pleasure to talk about you, dear Malathi. You studied with me in the same classroom at the Princess of Wales College, Malathi, till we beat you to the school life. We enjoyed the life at school. If the walls of the school could talk, they will have so much to tell about Malathi, especially her naughtiness. But she was a loving friend to all. She always shared the little she had with others. She never betrayed anyone on any naughty activity of the whole class. She is the martyr for the whole class. Time has passed and we were pushed to different roles in life. But I never thought you would end up as a journalist, an author, a poet, and winner of many awards in English literature. It is nothing but your inborn skills, nurtured and polished in the sphere of education. Now, Malathi, you are a matured lady, a talented writer. Go on. Keep the name of the school, Princess of Wales College, will molded both of us. May you be blessed with courage, spirit, and the will to be a successful writer who, while entertaining the reader, convey a fruitful message to pacify the anxious human beings.
Makes one at ease. When you smile in my heart,
Hello everyone. First of all, let me thank the God Almighty for His blessings ushered upon me to write a novel which is supposed to be my third book. First was Whisper in Dewdrops, second was Poems of a Lifetime, and the third is The Sacrifice, published by Sarasavi Publishers. Anyway, at a time of a pandemic situation of COVID in the whole globe, I was one person who was affected in the writing field, along with my other members of the Moratuwa Arts Forum, the musicians, singers, artists, etc. Yet, I thank the technology so that I could convey and thank my listeners and readers in promoting my novel, Sacrifice, and explain the real meaning of sacrifice and what made me write. If I am to speak about the story Sacrifice, it is a story which I fathomed and carried on my mind from the age of 12 up to the year of 2010. I may have been a little naughty in school, as my good friend Padmini says, but I felt that I was different from the others. My dad had been a professional writer in Sinhala, and my mom was an internationally renowned writer. By that mixture, whilst I was playing on the floor, I used to listen to my elders talking of their young days, their troubles, their hilarious situations, love and scary lives. I pasted all on my brain cells. Later, after leaving school, I joined many associations and met many in offices working together. What they discussed and what confidentiality they had with me to speak out what they underwent and their children and relatives. If I was just a woman, I should have forgotten then and there. But I hoarded all from things which had happened in 1940s, where I was not even born. But stirring all those pasted on my brain cells, I started to pen it. not to a paper but to the computer. I managed to set in para by para from 1940s to 2010. After typing, I did not know I had written more than 200 pages. I knew this is a book, a novel, a fiction, but filled with true incidents. As I had to mention many types of incidents, I had to make the novel display a large family, and each character speaks of many incidents. As I could not fall all incidents to a few, so the reader has to concentrate a lot on all names. Possibly, it may be the reason Mr. Lal Medavathagedra says he cannot justify whether it is a fiction or an autobiography or a biography. I myself too got lost at times. I have explained all true actions taken place with the power of God, power of devil, child abuse, value of medicinal herbs, calf love, legitimate love, infatuation, sisterly love, office stunts, lovely school life, jealousy, sexual life, and many more. As I could not organize a launching ceremony, the book was placed for sale on all racks of the Sarasavi bookshop branches island-wide, unknown. So to promote it, I talked on the SLBC commercial service of the value of the book and the deteriorating present-day English, and carried a book review in the Ceylon Daily News and by word of mouth. Though the idiom says mountain carries a hermit, in my distribution of books, me the hermit went to the mountains. I distributed books without stepping into houses, over the fences, gates and walls. Some have gone to the bookshops to purchase. There are so many wanting to read the book. Due to the present crisis, it delays. Dear friends, day by day I am getting messages, calls by the persons who have bought my book. Some of them started questioning me whether I have written about them. That is impliedly understood that they may have done probably what I have written, a good tiding or a wicked activity to somebody which is similar to which I have stated in the book, which I may have not referred them at all. This is my victory. That means the message has gone into their bloodstreams. So my loving reader, the message of mine is, if a vicious activity, correct yourself. A good tiding, yes, you can rejoice. What my intention is to say, if that suits, you put it on. Finally, my thank you note goes out to you, Mr. Lal Medavathagedra, Mrs. Michaelia Vikramasinghe, Mrs. Padmini De Silva, and Malathi Perera for your lovely voice and music which you made my program musically yours in fictional style, and all my so-called very important people who obliged to pose a photo to be carried on this program, which will live online for centuries. And thank you, and may God bless you, Mr. and Mrs. Premasiri, Sarasai Bookshop, Mugegoda. It is a must to mention, and a respect flows from my heart to my inspirer, late Dr. Edwin Aridasa, who was my lecturer at the Columbia University and put me up to the zenith level in feature writing and books. May you attain Nirvana, sir. My fervent prayer and hope is that we all, the whole globe, and we Sri Lankans conquer this deadly virus and start a new leaf with the glory of a fresh nature. Thank you.
Your rosy cheeks makes one at ease. When you smile, in my heart I feel you're the rose that blooms forever. Even a prick of a thorn will have no fear. Your innocence shines in the moonlight when you smile on the darkest night. You're the jasmine blooms forever. Sweet essence emanates, lasts forever. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, what I thank you for. Your purity seen by edelweiss. When you smile in bouquets every hour, you're the Aurelia flower that blooms forever. Chastity speaks all doubts too clear. Your childish behavior proclaims a flower. When you smile, my heart would whisper, you're the baby's breath, will be there forever. A strong arm would carry you tenderly, dear. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, what I thank you for. Your beauty and purity assembled together. No flower could ever compare with you, dear. If I'm the luckiest to want you, my dear, shall wear this garland now and forever. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, but I thank you for. My wish is granted, but I thank you for. My wish is granted, but I thank you for. Your rosy cheeks makes one at ease. When you smile, in my heart I feel you're the rose that blooms forever. Even a prick of a thorn will have no fear. Your innocence shines in the moonlight when you smile on the darkest night. You're the jasmine blooms forever. Sweet essence emanates, lasts forever. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, what I thank you for. Your purity seen by edelweiss. When you smile in bouquets every hour, you're the Aurelia flower that blooms forever. Chastity speaks all doubts to clear. Your childish behavior proclaims a flower. When you smile, my heart would whisper. You're the baby's breath, will be there forever. A strong arm would carry you tenderly, dear. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, what I thank you for. Your beauty and purity assembled together. No flower could ever compare with you, dear. If I'm the luckiest to want you, my dear, shall wear this garland now and forever. You're the one I search for. You're the one I longed for. You're the one I prayed for. My wish is granted, but I thank you for. My wish is granted, but I thank you for. My wish is granted.